Welcome back folks, my name is LastKnownMeal and this is the second video of the day because we just have a lot to cover. So there was a new investors call for CD Projekt Capital Group where they talked about some of the things with their investors, including the revenue they got throughout the year and also everything else that they are planning as a company. So first off, one of the things which I want to get out of the way, and a lot of people have been asking for it, what's happening with the Witcher 3 next gen upgrade? Is it cancelled? Is it delayed? What's going on? So the Piotr Nielubovic, the current chief financial officer of CD Projekt Capital Group, has repeated again that the Witcher 3 next gen upgrade is coming out in the fourth quarter of 2022. So when it comes to those plans, it does seem right now everything is going according to plan. But you keep in mind, of course, as it was before, you had situations where they say, yeah, it's coming out during that time, and then it gets delayed further on. So right now, as I'm making this video, the actual upgrade is still set to release in the fourth quarter of 2022, which does tell us that soon, probably next month or maybe the month after that, depending on which month they're planning to release in. My bet is going to be in December that we're gonna be, getting some more information about it, including maybe some screenshots or a trailer. So that's definitely a big plus for the actual Witcher community, so I'm glad that this is still on track. Now the second thing which I want to talk about is a little bit of a revenue. So in the first half of 2022, they have reached 378 million zloty, Polish zloty, which is 20% lower than the first half of 2021. So when it comes to sales have been going down a little bit, but at the same time it's kind of understandable, because when it comes to The Witcher, you're not going to have a record-breaking, sale every single year. And at the same time, Cyberpunk itself is selling really well. I mean, much better than I actually imagined, just because CDPR has continued to update the game. And I know a lot of people who jumped into it right now because they didn't want to play it until, there was a couple of patches and the game was stable to play. But again, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to be happening in the second half of 2022, just because they're planning this whole cross promotion with Cyberpunk Edge Runners and basically the Cyberpunk 1.6 update, which aims to bring more people in. So again, I'm gonna be following the charts to see if the actual anime has an impact on the number of players playing the game. At the same time, I do want to address something which I already addressed 3 months ago and in my previous video, and that's about the expansion. So Phantom Liberty, if you don't know, is going to be the only planned expansion for Cyberpunk 2077. After that comes out, they're not releasing anymore. Of course, this comes as a little bit of a surprise for some people. For me, it wasn't, because again, 3 months ago, CDPR went from expansions to expansion. And whenever you change this terminology, whenever you start saying expansion everywhere, this only told me one thing: you're doing only one expansion, and that's it. And at the same time, we have to talk about the future of Cyberpunk itself. So a lot of people have noticed that Cyberpunk was referred to as a franchise, which is totally expected. CDPR is not going to stop with Cyberpunk 2077, just like they didn't stop with, the ending of The Witcher 3, because CDPR right now only has 2 IPs that we know about that, are made public, and that's basically The Witcher and Cyberpunk. So whenever you're done with The Witcher, of course, you're gonna be releasing something in Cyberpunk. You just need to, because you already have a built IP and people behind it, which is going to recognize this brand and who are going to maybe buy the game in the future. So they invested millions into marketing this, and at the same time, whenever you have a franchise like this, like, they're gonna be selling hats, shirts, hoodies, which they already do, which turns it into a franchise. So in the future, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a multiplayer project or online project when it comes to Cyberpunk, or if not that, then just another single player Cyberpunk game. But they're definitely not gonna be, cutting that out from their portfolio, because you would be stupid to do it. Also, when it comes to the charts themselves, we can see the updated, the development teams and how they're being redistributed in the company itself. So first off, we can definitely see that The Witcher actually team is getting a lot bigger, and majority of people right now are working on the expansion itself for Cyberpunk 2077. At the same time, we can see that the Molasses Flood team has grown a little bit, so it does seem that they're also like going huge with the project itself. So I do assume that the Molasses Flood project is in full production right now. When it comes to the Cyberpunk support team, which are doing the updates and patches and fixing, this team is growing smaller, or well, shrinking more and more. It's kind of understandable because, well, they're gonna be doing the next patch. Like they said, they're gonna be overhauling the police system, vehicle to vehicle combat, you know, shooting from vehicles and so on. And also when it comes to any changes in direction of development and anything like that, they said like nothing is happening right now. They're pretty much staying the same as they were from before, obviously having more agile workflow and work environment, which has its minuses and pluses, but at the same time, for as long as developers have enough time and you know, just enough freedom to work on those projects and they're not being pushed by the management team, I'm sure that this is going to be just fine. So this is everything we have for today. These are the plans of, you know, CD Projekt Red so far and their games. It's gonna be exciting to see like the actual expansion when it comes out and the upgrade for The Witcher, as well as this new Molasses game, you know, Molasses Flood game, which they're working on, which is either going to be set in Cyberpunk or The Witcher universe. My bet is going to be on The Witcher. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to tell me down below what do you think about all of this, and if you enjoyed this video, smash that like and subscribe button for more, and check us out on Twitter and Discord. And also huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. If you want to support the channel in an extra way, I do have a Patreon page, so check it out and maybe you can subscribe. And that's it. This is LKM signing out. Stay classy everyone, and see ya.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.